so happy to see everybody. I'm so happy you're all here. I haven't seen you guys in years because I've been having babies and the pandemic and all that, but even though I'm crying, I'm so happy and thankful that you're all here. So even though she's not with us, I know her spirit lives on within me, within all of us. So let's have a happy day for the rest of the day if we can. All right, thank you guys.
Is it done?
Hi. My name's Ethan. I don't know if you know me or not. I'd assume you do, but it's okay if you don't. I knew my grandma Joy mostly in the last chunk of her life when she came back to live with us at my house, and I learned a lot. You'd think you'd learn a lot living with someone so wise, and I did. I learned a lot about the ending of our lives and how that's important and how what we do affects other people. And I know that my grandma helped me a lot and how she helped a lot of other people. So I think that's really cool. And even if, she's not around, as long as we don't forget her, then she'll still always be with us. And I think that's nice. So yeah, and if you ever need help, I'm sure that she'll be watching over each and every one of you. So yeah, I took care of her a lot.
You did a great job.
And I remember one time I put a little post-it note on the bottom of her plate that said "I love you" on it, and she kept it, and that made me happy. So yeah.
She appreciated you a lot.
And if you're thinking about coming up here and saying something, you should do it, because you only get one shot. So. Okay, bye.
Hello,
Hello.
I'm Jason.
Jason who?
I guess I met Joy when I was, 7. I don't know how old I was, about 7. She's been part of my life ever since. My own mother passed away when I was 11. And, Joy was one of the first people I saw after that. And she comforted us, and she had, I don't remember exactly the words, but they were wise words, I'm sure. Over the years, family's always so important, and this is all part of it. I had the luxury recently to travel with Tama up to Honeydew, and I hadn't been there before, and I felt bad that I hadn't, but we went and visited after Joy passed just a month ago, and saw the fantastic circular domed house that she had been living up there, and up on that side of the hill. It's a beautiful spot, and it was up high up on the hillside, but there were all these river stones up there, hundreds of them. Terracing, the landscaping, the walk up the stairs up to the entryway and everything. And it was really, really remarkable. And I was told the story of how they all got there. Every day, or I don't know if it was every day, but whenever Joe would go into town, she would always stop down by the river down in town. Like, I don't know if you call it a town, but the center of Honeydew. The post office, And there's a pretty good river there. And she would come back with, 2 or 3 stones every day that she came back up, and she'd carry them up. You have to walk down there, and she had buckets, and hike back up to the car and bring them up. And just the determination of just every day bringing a few more up there, and just, you know, to me that was really. And as Taylor and I went through the house and got some of her stuff that we wanted to bring back, there was just a fantastic book collection. You know, and you've heard that she was dyslexic and didn't quite finish school, but she had books and she loved her books, you know, and so that was important for me to see that. So, yeah. I think that's
That's fine.
I
I walked up quite a few of those rocks myself.
Yeah, no, yeah, Ronnie gets them good too.
Watch the corridor.
I'm Graham, otherwise known as Greg, with the color of the sky today. And I'm Jason's little brother. I was literally half his size when we're only 15 months apart, around that age, when our mother died. And I remember that day so vividly. I remember Joy's open arms. That energy that Joy expressed, I'll never forget. And though I know she went through a lot of tribulations throughout her life, and there was a lot of change, of course, in our lives, and you know, I credit our big family gatherings now and all the different sort of extensions of our family to the fact that we all love one another, you know, through all the difficulties and sometimes rifts and separations. We stay connected somehow, and I think Joy conveyed that spirit throughout her life. And so I'm thankful that we can be here all today and just be in that energy. And we always will feel that when we think of Joy. So thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Cece. I'm gonna try to keep the waterworks in check. Nanny would say it's because I have a Scorpio Venus. I have a pocket thing because I'm a Libra sun. Anyway, I always felt it was very special that I had 4 grandmas. I have my abuela Teddy, my grandma Joyce, my grandma Wendy, and my nanny. And I get very special things from all of them. From Nanny, I always thought it was very special that I got my name the same way that my mom did. I always felt that she inspired it. And I remember I was
Just tell them what your name is.
Oh, the drama. I remember being a kid in elementary school or whatever, and other kids would ask me, you know, what's your name? And I would very proudly with my whole chest, I'd go, Cecilia Joyce Charity Autumn Hewlett. And they'd go, why do you have so many names? And I would say, my grandma's a hippie. She's cooler than yours. I would say that all the time. I was so proud of it. And I remember too, oh, okay, babe. We had this running joke. This is one way that I think I'll always remember her. Every time I would wear something that she liked, she'd look at me and she'd go, I like your dress, can I have it? So every time I would see her, I'd say the same thing. I also, one of my favorite things about her was how much she liked to dance. Because I loved it too. And I always felt like I got it from her. And when I started to dance in a more professional sense, it's all we talked about. She loved to talk about how much she loved the ballet, how much she loved to move. And that was one of the hardest things to watch as her condition worsened. It was how much less she was able to dance and to use her physical body the way I knew she loved to do. But every time I dance and I practice, I think a lot of her and about how she expressed her freedom that way, because she was such a free person, like my Aunt Roxanne said. I will also always treasure, I think it's very special for kids to be in nature. And we would get to go up to her house in Honeydew and spend weekends there with her and swim in the creek. And she would always go to the deep end, and I was too scared to go, and she'd hold me and stuff. She was just very fearless like that. And so I want to remember her that way too. And through her yips. And every time I hang up the phone, I say booga booga. And 1, 2, 3, booga booga. And I say goodbye. So this isn't goodbye, it's just booga booga. It's just nose kisses to my nanny. So yeah, thanks.
I'm pretty sure I know all of you. I'm Paul. I met Joy because I was dating her daughter. And at that time, I had seen a little bit of the world because I was in the Marine Corps, and so I was too big for my britches. And I was a 20-year-old jarhead. Like, Marine's a nice word. I was a jarhead at the time from the Midwest, and I had very particular opinions about how the world should work. And I think she disagreed with all of them. But she was so accepting and showed me so much kindness. And so, if you take, excuse me. If you can take anything away from today, please show some of her compassion, some of her kindness. Some of her compassion, some of her kindness, and some of her acceptance to the people that you meet, even if they're different. In some ways, especially if they're different. And just remember that she had the strength and the compassion to invite somebody like me into her life and make me feel welcome and accepted. So yeah, so her strength, her compassion, her kindness is something that I see in my kids. It's something that echoes down through, and I'd like to see a lot more of that. So, thank you.
Thank you everyone for coming. My name's Richard R.J. Bergarella. I got stuck with the initials R.J. My father was Richard Lee. I'm Richard James, so I wasn't a junior. This lady was incredible. I drove her nuts. I was the biggest terror in the world and rode a big wheel 100 zillion miles an hour. No one could stop me, non-stop, 1,000 miles an hour. When I see kids now in our family run around, they're nothing compared to what I was. And she tried to wrangle me, and I didn't want anything to do with it. We butt heads, but I loved her so much. She loved me more than anything in the world too. And her sister, Maureen, was my mom, and we lost her a number of years ago. And we went and spread her ashes up at Mount Tamalpais, and we're gonna go up there tomorrow for a gathering. Whoever wants to come is welcome. I'm not a great public speaker. I'm gonna try not to look at any of you because I'm just gonna bawl my eyes out. It took a lot to come up here, but I couldn't be here today and not let you all know how much I love my Aunt Joy. And I love all of you, and I'm 54, I'm lucky to be alive, all the stunts I've pulled, and I'm glad to see my Uncle Timmy here. We haven't talked in a while, and it's important that everyone here knows that family is the most important thing. And I'm shaking because I'm scared shitless to speak in front of people. So I love you all, and I love you, Aunt Joy, and every day, you know, we get lots of things we have to overcome. And when I think of it, a lot of the things Aunt Joy was always trying to tell me and teach me, as I get older, I see that from my father, from our family, from our elders, and I just love you all, and I love you, Ronnie and Tama and Paul and just everyone here, all my cousins and family. And please come up and say something if you have it in you. I wasn't gonna because I'm scared, but I had to, and here I am, and I feel good that I did now. And we all are here because Joy was just the light. And yeah, I love you, Aunt Joy. Anyone else want to come up here? I'm just gonna leave this here.
I remember. Yeah. I'm gonna stand down here because my back hurts to go. Okay, thank you, honey. So many of you don't know who I am, but I'm a longtime family friend of Joy and Tama's from Lake County. My name is Barbara, and I remember seeing all these like little guys up at the Murray Springs house, having lots of fun. But I just wanted to share how I met Joy. Tama and I had been friends for a long time because my husband and her went to school together. I had already graduated, and my brother had went to school with Tama, and so we instantly bonded. We found out our birthdays are really close together. We're the July babies, and so we celebrated together and did things a lot together, a lot.
She had a car.
That's the only reason why they liked me is because I could drive, okay? So the truth be told. We spent a lot of time at TJ's Pizza, we spent a lot of time, but we were, I had moved up here from Vacaville, city life, no idea about the country life. And I have to say, Joy pretty much told me how it was, the experiences. So we were allowed to go to Tama's house. And as you guys heard, Joy, of course, was very free, very loving, didn't care who was around, very accepting, right, Paul?